Hi, this is Lauren Cowger, and this is my presentation on workplace analysis. I am in the position of a nurse manager for a surgery center that was established over 2 years ago, in 2015. The investors had tried to fly it on their own and were unsuccessful, and so in 2016, they hired an outsourced HR that actually, besides being HR, the supplies are ordered through them. All the billing, it goes through them. The insurance authorizations, everything goes through them. So they took over control of the whole place. And at that point, the employees became employees of the outsourced HR rather than the investors. So one of the problems with the setup is that the staff kind of feel like they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. The performance varied. There was a lot of conflict between the investors and the HR company. The investors, to the point that they had written their own policies and procedures. Plus, then when this merger came about, the HR brought in policies and procedures that would get them accredited by JCO. So there was this mishmash of policies and procedures, and depending on who was there voicing their opinion, kind of depended on what policies were held in place the strongest. This caused a lot of conflict amongst the staff, between the investors, because they had one opinion, the manager had another opinion, the staff had another opinion. So the management was extremely concerned, the investors, about cutting costs. And to the point that they didn't understand a lot of the positions or the jobs that the staff were required to do. So one investor, the CFO, was a regular for saying, you're sending the patient home. Can't the staff go home right now? And it's like, no, there's more to running the facility than just being there in the moment with the staff. With the patient. The staff has to, do follow-up calls on the patients. The staff had to copy all the charts, scan and copy and upload all the charts. So there's a little bit more. So staff was extremely conflicted, and there was a lot of turnover. My first day when I came there, one of the staff members came up to me and asked me if I was going to fire them. So the investors, had done a lot of demotivation of the staff by the environment that they chose to orchestrate at the facility. So when your staff is so demotivated, they're not feeling secure in their job, they're not going up the chain of Maslow's, so there were a lot of problems. And due to this lack of motivation, the company had lost a number of nurse managers. I was going to be the third one, and a lot of the staff, so there was a high turnover rate of the staff just because of all the confusion. So one of the important things is the HR company is very good at motivating the staff by fulfilling their needs. And they do that by, large interview process, making sure they got the right person for the right job, for the right environment that fits in well with the team that's there. A lot of training, a lot of motivating, a lot of rewards. I just finished doing my merit increase assessment on all my staff. And so every year I'm given a budget of money, and I can dole it out to the staff as I see fit based on their interactions and, how I feel they're doing in the facility and fulfilling the practices and the philosophy of the HR company. The HR company is very big about empowerment, and it doesn't really matter what your experience are, your qualification or traits. They can go in there and they're willing to train you and make it a success for everybody there. We do a lot of team building exercises. There's one in particular that I've done once, and I'm got it on my calendar to do again. I just haven't had the chance to do it, and it's called Stop, Start, and Continue. And the members or the teammates are all in a room. I give them each little sticky pads and pencils, and we go through, and on a wall I have things they wish to see stopped as far as how people communicate, people coming late, whatever. So they list anything that bothers them that they want stopped. Then there's a list where they can put anything they wish to continue. And then there's a list that they can put where they want things to start. So ideas they have or whatever. And according to Hertzberg's, job enrichment also increases motivation by building challenge, responsibility, growth into the person's job. And with the job enlargement, you get improved task efficiency and human satisfaction. And that's one of the big things that I do with my staff. I work really hard to make them feel that they're appreciated. I'm big on Thursdays. I stop at the bakery on my way in, and I know what everybody's favorite treat is. And for Valentine's Day, although I was out of the United States, I had breakfast delivered with everyone's particular thing that I know they like. So, I really focus on acknowledging how much they contribute to the facility. And when a manager recognizes malfunctioning, you need to diagnose the problem and identify alternatives. Organizations must remain flexible, creative, responsive to remain distinct and grow. By practicing equity theory, the staff are motivated to stay over when we get that last minute add-on case that's an emergency. And they will discuss it, we'll come up with a plan, and then if we just put a temporary line in the patient, at least we know they can get dialysis. But they're very much involved in the conversation of how the day is going to be, or what's going to go on. We have huddles in the beginning of the day, and everybody knows what the plan is. When we get add-ons called in, they're updated on it at all points because they're a very big part of the team, and only through them can I actually run the facility.